It's Chris Fade and Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic podcast.
Brought to you by NMC Healthcare and Cosmesurge. Head to cosmesurge.com.
Well, we're officially back and we just had some snacks.
Got chocolate stuck in my teeth.
Same with me. Chris Fade, Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic podcast.
If anyone hasn't had these, I'm not being paid for it, but it's amazing. Dark chocolate popcorn bites, yum.
And if you haven't tried these, Fade Fit Kids, this is not a paid endorsement. One of the greatest snacks you'll ever have.
I should be paid for it. He is going to get paid for it. I won't.
This is my company, by the way.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I don't know.
We should start reviewing stuff on a later podcast.
So
we should
Chris
start
and I-
reviewing
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a good idea.
Chris was a.
Just
Chris
make sure
was
you've got the stuff already
Sorry,
open.
just spat. Chris was a larger person
Fat.
before,
Oh, so fat. I'm trying to get there again.
and we're both into fitness and we're into health now.
What are we eating now? Hey, do one of those ASMRs.
Nobody wants to hear. I certainly do not want to hear that.
Yeah, this is ready for
have
ASMR fans. Go,
misophonia.
Caroline. Go chew right into the mic and make some noise.
What is
Everyone's
that?
silent. Just
It's like a kink.
go.
Real good.
I'll do it.
Both.
Oh.
These are really good. Baked oven sea salt. Anyway, I'm not sure what we're talking about. This is fascinating.
Well, we're back. Sorry. Really bad start, but a nice start and a natural start. Melissa is joining us once again, getting ready to read out some of your messages you've been sending us through Instagram.
Everyone's really enjoying Melissa. I'm a little bit, I think she might take over from one of us soon. She's the funny one now.
Yeah, she could be part of it. I don't mind. Before we start,
It's okay. I'm happy being in the background.
Melissa would rather her life wasn't.
Because it's just laughing at me.
A lot.
it's true.
Which I
If you're-
don't mind. I send myself up, but people might get a complex and sadness in their life.
Melissa's in the background. She's not on the camera, so if you're watching this, she's just situated on the back end. Oh, that sounded weird. If you're listening to us, well, you can hear
Melissa's
Melissa. Here's something that you don't know, and as soon as you see it, you're going to laugh, or you're going to be like, I like it.
Oh my God. That's awful. What is that?
Oh my God, you're too.
Is that real?
Yeah? Brianna hates it.
Did you do that as a joke? What is it? Like a grill?
Yeah.
Please tell me that comes off.
Yeah.
Oh my Why would you do that? Is it real gold?
It's real platinum, white
Please
gold.
tell me you didn't spend money on that.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on it.
For what? Chris, I've been trying to dress you up. That just looks like you're missing a giant
The
tooth.
face you do when you're showing it off. Like,
I'm trying to be like, oh, cool. So I've got a
like Ross
grill.
from Friends
I
when
went
he
and
showed
bought
it.
one
No,
white.
it's not a grill.
It's one tooth.
He couldn't
It's a
afford the
pirate.
grill.
I could have, but I should have got more. But I got one tooth made when I was in LA, and I forgot to show it to you. And basically,
Harry from
it's
Home
like what a
Alone.
rapper would wear. So be like, yo, what's up?
No, it's like Harry from Home Alone. You know the little
Yeah.
little bad guy's got one gold tooth that.
Yeah, $400 is US dollars for this little piece of
Ripped
platinum.
off.
Yeah, I know, but it was made by some guy. So I was walking on the streets of LA
Is that an
with
Instagram ad?
Yeah.
what?
No, saying you love buying stuff on Instagram ads.
Yeah, but I was walking down the street and I was with my daughters Nushi and Kiki, 10
And
and
I
8.
know, I'll get one gold tooth.
And I just saw this
You look
place called
cool.
House of Grills, and I went, you know what, girls? I've always wanted to get a grill. I've always wanted to get a fake tooth. And they're like, Dad, what is that? We went and did it, and then they're like, you're not getting that. It looks hideous. Like, it doesn't look good, Dad. I said,
But you
girls,
still got it.
you don't know what it is. So they actually fit it like by a dentist. He molds your tooth, and then they gel it, and you can have diamonds in it and all that. But I haven't worn it. I really wore it I wore it out once.
For
and I
those
felt,
of you that aren't watching, I have a very quizzical face. I don't quite understand the point of that.
Yeah, I don't like it now. I don't usually wear it. And the one night that I wore it, I could just, as I was having conversations with people, like just kept them seeing, like they just kept looking at my tooth.
Yeah.
And
it looks like, because it's not one thing or the other, it's not a grill. So it's just a gold tooth. So you can't work out whether it's a gap and you can't afford to fix your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted
But
to
it's
show you
great,
that.
Chris. Great. We love it.
There we go. Thank you. All right.
Fabulous.
Over to you, Melissa. Here are some questions you've been asking us on our podcast through Instagram, comments that we've been receiving as well. Let's go.
Okay, so 2020 is coming up. We've got a new decade starting.
Is it?
Rewind 10 years ago. Where were you 10 years ago? What was happening in your life? And
Just
what
cleaning
is
toilets,
different
weren't
now? And
Chris
what do
was
you
literally-
see in 10 years' time?
Well,
Where do you think you're going to be?
I'm still reviewing Chris, by the way.
I know,
Just
you're
in
eating
case
your-
anyone
Yeah,
asks.
nobody wants to hear this.
10 years ago, I wasn't. No, 10 years ago was not. I wasn't cleaning toilets then. That was probably 15 years ago. I had my own little cleaning company and I was cleaning
said 10
toilets. 10 years ago, what'd you say?
I said 10 years, not 15.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a
10
better
years ago,
story.
I had just moved. I had just moved to Dubai.
Why
left
do you always go Dubai?
Dubai?
It's like a whole thing you do. Why isn't it just Dubai?
Wow.
Sorry, I'm just asking.
Wow.
I'm just fascinated.
Someone's, is it that? Oh, no, that doesn't.
She speaks the Queen's English.
What do you say, Dubai?
Dubai.
You hear people
You make
go,
a whole thing of it.
Do
Like
you-
Dubai.
Do you hear
Like,
people
is
say
it-
Dubai?
I've heard, yeah, you hear that quite a lot. Dubai.
Yeah, I'm like, oh gosh. I moved to Dubai.
Yeah.
Was that
Oh,
okay?
That's good.
I moved to Dubai 10 years ago, basically 10 and a half years ago. So I was, 10 years ago, moving to this city, Dubai, like Google, there was nothing much on Google, like of Dubai.
For those of you that don't know, Dubai was built 45 years ago.
48 years
It
ago.
wasn't
48
built
years.
45 years ago.
No,
It
but
was the UAE was
Yeah.
Yeah.
48. Yeah, it's just the.
So this has risen an incredibly fast period of time.
20
yeah,
years,
it-
really, though, isn't it? It's like 20.
10 years ago, Dubai is so different to the 10 years that it is right now, like 10 years later. It is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. It is unbelievable, the architecture, the infrastructure, and what they build. I went back home to Sydney 3 years ago, and I go back every year.
I'm dying to go.
Oh, please come. 3 years ago,
Invite me.
When I went to Sydney, what'd you say?
Invite me.
Okay, that's your
Invite me.
invitation. 3 years ago when I went, they started building the metro system, the little rail system through the city, right? 3 years later, when I was there just a couple of weeks ago, it still hasn't been finished. So 3 years on. Now, Dubai Metro, and this is not, we're not getting paid to say this about Dubai or anything like that. Dubai Metro, it was like they put the whole thing up in a couple of years, and it is huge.
Give Chris about a week. He'll be being paid by Dubai Metro. I know him
Based on
so
the side
well.
of the metro.
Dubai
Or
Metro.
the front of the metro.
It's a driverless train, by the way.
You
There's
should
no
do the
drivers on there.
announcements on it.
There's no drivers on the metro.
Burj Khalifa, Dubai
I'm not sure I
Mall.
like that.
What? Why? If anything happens?
Yeah. I'm not into this whole like artificial sort of. It's like the cars that drive themselves. Would you really put your kids in it and let it drive your kids?
Well, my BMW 7 Series.
Here we go. He is being paid for this, by the way.
But it's got adaptive cruise control on it. So what it allows me to do is when I get onto the road.
Take a nap.
No, you don't take a nap, but it basically
can
drives me to
rest
work. It drives me to work. I don't touch the steering wheel.
Wow.
I don't touch the accelerator or the brake.
Don't you want to?
Unless I have to. Like when we come up to a certain bend and I get off the main road, I take over. But when I'm on that straight, like honestly, for 15 minutes, the car is just doing its thing, and I'm
Even
just
when
sitting there.
traffic's like really.
In traffic, it stops. Yeah, it will stop and take off. So if the car in front of you stops, it just stops. Then it takes off. It takes off. Like it does the whole thing for you.
And it stops enough time where you're not having to be like.
Yeah, and it
sorry.
takes you a while. Like my car parks itself, which a lot of cars do now, but and it's technology. Like I love technology. You're afraid of it. I want to embrace more of it.
I'm not
like,
afraid of it. I just don't want to give control to something that could potentially kill me when I can drive.
No, so the metro has a driver but doesn't drive. He's just there.
the Metro has a driver, but it doesn't drive.
They've
He's
got
just
like
there
a
just in
steward,
case.
essentially, yeah.
Which is good. All right.
I think
No,
the tube
but
has that as well. The tube has that, doesn't it? Or do
I
they
don't know. I've
drive?
never taken one.
Oh man, I know. So I did the stupid thing which no one told me, and I wish you did tell
Took
me.
one.
No, when I got off the train, when I got off the plane, when I landed in Heathrow, I had to go into town, so I caught a taxi. It was 1 hour, 51 minutes to get from Heathrow to the
Heathrow Express.
hotel. All right, and it cost, I don't know, 100 quid.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys say, 100
Expensive,
pounds?
£100.
And I was like, well, so everyone, when I put this up on my Instagram, people were like, Chris, you take the express to Heathrow,
Yeah,
it
Heathrow
takes 20
Express.
minutes. What are you doing? And no one told me that.
I think it's only £35 that as well. It's not, it's.
Oh, is it? But I
Yeah.
do not want to get on a.
Also, it's
Tube.
lugging. You've got.
But it's not a tube, it's
lugging,
an
I know
actual
you
train.
were by yourself, weren't you? But
The
it's
Heathrow
also
Express
lugging
is
all
an
your
actual train,
luggage.
though. It's a nice train, the Heathrow Express.
Yeah, I don't know. All
And
right,
it's not
well,
that busy that way. When it's not, it's
We've
not
run
the
out
same.
of these. Are so good.
I'll get you more. Caroline is eating a lot right now. Interesting. I've never really seen you eat like.
I haven't had any breakfast. I'm starving, Chris. And I went to the gym.
So you have been going to the gym. It doesn't really.
Show.
No, I'm joking. Do you feel fat sometimes?
Yeah, of course.
There's like you're not fat.
For me, I get bigger. I got the biggest I've ever been a few months ago. Where was I? Can't remember. I came back from
Came
holiday.
back from a long trip.
Yeah, long trip, and I'd
And you've
eaten
been
my
out for
body
lots of
weight.
dinners.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, you know, Brianna.
I get a belly.
My Brianna, my fiance, like, if she doesn't go to the gym for a day, that she'll be like, oh, I feel like I've put on weight. I'm like,
Same.
it's a mental game. It's totally, that's just
But
a
women
mental
are very,
thing.
very hard on ourselves. We also know, like I don't particularly weigh myself, but we know the way our clothes fit. It's just,
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling for us. It's like I could stand next to someone twice the size of me and still feel big, and she could say she would feel big and whatever, but not because of me. You just feel big in your own body. So I don't stand there and go. I don't look at that person and go, she's fat.
Yeah.
I just feel big for me. Like some people are bigger boned, some people are taller, some you know your weight, you know your body, you know when you feel best.
Sometimes as well, you get comments from people being like, oh, by you saying that, you're making me feel like it's not okay to be my size. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, that's
No.
not what you're saying. You're saying, you're being honest. You're being like, I feel big because every woman does, or you're feeling like you've eaten a lot. And it's just like people seem to take it personally. And you're like, I'm not saying you're
Yes,
fat.
exactly. If you're standing there, I hate that when you're talking about yourself and somebody else, you know, like,
Oh, well, I'm bigger than you, so I must be obese.
I must be
Like,
huge.
shut
Yeah.
up.
And it's not what you mean. It's like everybody's entitled to feel a certain way about themselves, their own body, just because, you know, we look. I know I've got ridiculously skinny legs, but I know where the rest of the fat goes on me, and I'll get a bigger belly, or I'll get
Your
the
lips.
back of my arm. Yes, my lips, Chris. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
Yeah, most women would want that, though.
What?
Most women would want that.
Oh my God! Can we discuss that new lip craze?
Oh my
Have you seen
God,
it?
it's horrible.
Oh my God, Chris, please pull it up.
The
What's
wavy
the,
one.
what's the lip
It's a
like?
wavy. Oh my God, you're going to
Like
die.
lipstick?
No, it's like a filler, but they're like zigzags.
It's mental.
Is
Who's
it
doing
zigzags?
that?
Women, apparently. Women
they-
that have actually lost the plot.
They
people.
inject the
Zig-
fillers like in
yes,
different areas,
yes.
so it gives you this zigzag.
Zigzags.
Bumpy.
Like, can I just say, from a man's perspective, when you kiss the lips of a woman, and I have kissed lips of a woman with
Careful, Chris.
too much
Very careful.
filler, like, can I just say it's not nice? Like, it's like,
These aren't filler, but he's never kissed these lips.
yeah, and I never will.
Yet.
It's like kissing.
Someone get the mistletoe.
The what? Mistletoe. I'm running. Chop it down. But it's like kissing you know, like a cable on when you plug in something into the wall. Like the thing that you plug into the wall to turn a light on, for example.
Vibrator?
No, not a vibrator. You have one that plugs into a wall. Wow.
Just in case it runs out, Chris.
Wow. It's the tube of the electrical cord. It's like electrical cords. It's like, ugh. So just.
But Chris,
not-
when are you kissing electrical cords that you would know that that's what it feels like?
I feel like I want to put
I guess
electrical
if you
cord
put
in
like
my
a
mouth
cord
right
in your
now.
mouth,
Yeah, you would blow up. Do not put an electrical.
No, I'm
Kids,
just saying.
Anyone watching this, listening to this, please
When you
do
put your
not
finger in a
put
plug.
electrical cords
Did you just
in
say
your
kids?
mouth.
You just talked
you
about
just talked about vibrators.
vibrators all of a sudden. No, electrical cords are wrong, though. Let's not talk about vibrators, but electrical
Kids, don't do
cords.
drugs.
Okay.
All right, next question. What else? These are questions.
Okay.
These topics that we are talking about right now are all sort of stemming from you through Instagram and the comments that you give us. Chris and Caroline on the gram. Follow, share.
What trends do you hope die out in 2020?
Everything Chris wears.
Zigzag lips.
Everything that Chris wears.
What's wrong with what I'm wearing right now?
Right, can we just not do the personal insults?
I know she personally just said, that's all it is. She feels better if she brings me down.
It's so much fun. No, okay, zigzag lips, 100%.
Well, I don't know if that trend started yet. That might be a trend for 2020.
Full 2020
But what do we
is
hope, across everything? What trends?
The mini bag. The
Oh,
one
yeah,
that
the one
you
that
can't
Lizzo
even. You can
had.
only carry a
Oh,
Xanax
yeah,
in.
who had it?
Lizzo.
Lizzo went on the red carpet.
But
with
those
these
are funny memes that come
Smallest
from that.
little.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. You
What
can
is
get a
that?
Xanax in it. That's it.
But why are they? Is that a thing? That
It's
you
just-
carry that bag?
I mean, she'll
Yeah.
have an assistant that's got all of her stuff beside, but it's just a fashion statement, really, isn't it? It's not.
yeah, that's.
I mean,
weird.
I think the statement is to have the assistant behind you carrying the stuff.
Yeah,
You've got-
yeah.
I am so famous. Fact.
Yeah.
Social media bullying for me, I'd like that to stop. I feel like people get not even bullying. I think
that a
people
trend?
Well, I think people are entitled to just they feel like they're entitled just to leave comments on.
Can we just discuss that
That's
a
what I
minute?
find
Because
bizarre.
well, so mean. Did
People
you
say
see that
the meanest things? and I
Elon
think,
Musk just
Who are you?
lost the case, won the case.
He won the case.
Won the case.
He
I'm
called
shocked.
the guy a
a
pedophile.
paedophile on.
But he
Twitter.
shouldn't have won
Yeah,
it.
because
And-
the guy said something about him, didn't he?
I think the guy said, we don't need your tank thing because it was at Thailand.
Oh yeah, the tank. That's
yeah.
he'd done the tank, and the tank only went straight. Yet it
Yeah.
had to go
And
up.
it was a
they're saying-
publicity stunt,
Saying
really,
that
that
he's
he did
like
it.
he's saying that it would have taken them more time, and they knew the tank wasn't going to go through anyway. He just reacted and called him a pedo, whatever. But he won. So, and they were saying that that sort of opens up quite a lot, that you can say whatever about anybody on such an open forum.
Well, again,
It's
here in the
circumstance.
UAE, you cannot defame someone on Instagram
That's what I like.
or on social
Good.
media, which is actually really good. Now, I've been defamed many times on Instagram here.
Have you?
Oh, heaps of times. There's a bunch of guys that obviously just don't like me, and that's fine. I like that. But they'll
Who
get
could
on.
not like you?
Exactly. Who could not like
big
this
teddy
space?
bear.
But they would get on and they would say things about me, which most of the time I don't mind. But it got to the point where one of them was taking photos of me like at cafes when I didn't even know, right?
I hate
and
that.
putting it on
Creepy.
Instagram. And I had to take that. I did take it further. Now I didn't take it to the police. Where if I literally just took that to the police and
You'd
said,
have
"Hey,
been done.
that
Done.
guy would be thrown
In
out of
jail.
the country, probably jailed or whatever it is."
So people know you can't actually take pictures of other people here unbeknownst to them, which
Yeah.
is a great thing as
No
well, because that's why
paparazzi.
we don't have paparazzi. Famous people can
Yeah.
come here and relax. Continue.
But it's also like people they just feel entitled to just leave a comment on someone's page, and then when you reply to it or when you want to go back at it, the amount of times if I do get any hate, and then I'll go back and I'll be like, "Hey,
Back down.
They
They back
totally
down.
back down.
Me too.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't know what. I wasn't trying to be, smart. But they left the comment like, "I hate you. You're an
I know.
idiot.
And
I
they're like,
didn't
I'm
mean
actually
to
a big
offend
fan.
you."
That's what always comes back. Chrissy Teigen's really good at taking people down after they say stuff, but then you always see the reply from the person, and they're like, I'm actually a really big fan. Why
Yeah.
did you go on social
Because
media
they're
to say
trying to
something nasty?
engage with you, and I find that the whole time. I don't really react to anything except when it comes to my kids, because it just drives me
Yeah.
up the wall. If I'm out at a dinner or at a party, they're like, "Where are your kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're with me."
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's just I don't
Ridiculous.
understand. Most people do not put their children on social media a lot.
Yeah.
Most people. But I get things that, about my body, my legs are too thin, my lips are too big, whatever it is. I get it all the time. But I just really, I always think, what kind of person takes the time?
Yeah, if I wasn't in the public eye as I'm here in the country, I don't think I'd ever be a person though to go on someone's Instagram account, someone even famous or whatever, and leave a negative comment,
Nasty.
because I'm like,
Just
that's
scroll
weird.
through. If you don't like them, scroll through
But
it.
it's
I know.
weird, it's unless the guy's the other day on Instagram I was on the plane watching the movie about Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, yeah.
And I just wrote, the guy's an animal, should
Yeah.
be in jail.
Yeah.
Because
Did you get a lot of feedback from that?
I had a lot of people just ask me why. They didn't understand. They didn't
Yeah.
understand that they haven't heard the story. But there's a great documentary that you got to watch where 16 women come up forward, and it's just shows how he was allegedly. But that's the furthest I've ever gone on social media, and I didn't leave it on a public. It was on my own stories, just in the caption, But going on other people's comments and just reading some. We announced, for example, our Redfest DXB on the radio station that I work for. We released a big concert announcement of all the artists that were coming. We've got such great artists coming, but some of the younger ones are like,
I'm going to call you about it.
what?
Yasmin,
Yes, I
thanks.
know. They're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, who's these? Why are you bringing this person? Why are you bringing that person? Why?" I'm like, dude, you're a 13 or 14-year-old kid at this stage. You feel that you can come and you're entitled to leave a message of a concert that we're promoting, and it's costing millions to put on. Do you know what I mean? And then the profanity was coming through, etc. So I just had to disable the comments because it was getting a little bit too much. So that's what I wish would stop. That social media is there to connect people. That's why it's there for. It is to leave your opinion. I'm not saying you don't want any negativity, but there's such a better way of doing it than just the immature or childish way.
I mean, it's just, why can't you scroll past it if you see something you don't like? That's what I don't understand.
Just
People are
bullying in
bored.
general. I think bullying in general is a weakness in
Yeah.
the person. Normally,
Yeah.
people I find that like to pick on other people or pick at something, the way you're living your life or whatever you're doing, it's normally because they're unhappy in their own lives.
Yeah.
It's normally a mirror image of what is going on in theirs,
Yeah.
not yours. And I just pity people. I honestly pity them. I feel incredibly bad that that's the biggest thing they have in their life is to comment on my life or somebody else's life or whoever it is. And I feel nothing but sadness that this is the way they choose to spend their day.
Agreed. Totally agree. So let's say no to zigzag lips and to social media bullying. Another one. Melissa, she's reading through them all, trying to work out what should she say here. We're not going to be offended, Melissa.
If you had unlimited cash, what is there something in your life that is just annoying to have to do that you would pay someone to do that you're like, I'd love to take that
Great question.
away from
If you
from
had
me?
unlimited cash, and this is sent in from Amanda in Arizona. Thank you, Amanda. What are you laughing at? I didn't make that up. That's
Actually,
legit.
I was thinking about what was the lovely guy that came on that used to be the singer, toured with Gaga. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Walla.
Yes,
What?
that he said I would have you'd rent a womb.
Yeah.
Rent a womb.
A
Well, you can
womb?
rent a room, but an artificial wombs now. So it's not in a person you don't know. It's just a electronic womb.
Oh yeah, he said that that's what they're sort of investing in. You know, people.
Yeah.
You don't have to have like a surrogate. It's,
Yeah, you have.
No, but the
Yeah, it's
question
quite
is,
interesting,
if
actually.
you had unlimited cash, what is something that you would pay for
Well,
that you would
that's
never have to
annoying,
do
isn't
again?
it? Getting pregnant is annoying.
Oh, so that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be pregnant. You'd give
Well,
it.
you give it. I mean, I don't want to give it to somebody else. I'd never give it to somebody else. But if it's an electronic womb that you can just cook your baby and go and visit it afterwards and continue work and everything with kids, then wouldn't that be great?
But I was just thinking.
I
of
get
the
sick. You see, I'm
future
not very good at
implications of
carrying
that.
babies, so that would be
Scares me.
great. I would do that. The thought of giving it to somebody, a live person that I don't know, is not great to me.
So you're saying that you would have no issue going to like a centre where you've got an artificial womb and your baby is cooking in there, and you'd
Well,
come and
mind you,
how you doing?
Mind you, I've had
Hello.
three. Mind you, I've had three.
I know.
And now I've got to go back to work, and I'm working, and it would quite. And as I said, I get very sick because I have preeclampsia with all my children. So this would be quite a good way. This would be great if I had unlimited money. I can do it. I'm not saying, I'm just then. Yeah, why not?
I don't know what I would want. Would you talking about babies still?
Oh, God.
Do you think that there's anything wrong with choosing the sex of your child? So obviously with technology now, they can go and choose the male or the female and insert it into the egg and then yada
I
yada.
was going to say, I know where it goes, Chris.
Yes, there we go. What are your thoughts on that?
I think, look, I mean, in England, you can't do that, and I did IVF, so you can't.
It's
choose.
illegal, is it?
Yes.
I know it's illegal in many countries. I
Yeah.
think it's illegal in America though.
Yeah, it is illegal because
You're playing God, sort of.
Look
You're
at
playing-
China and things like this, where boys aren't, is it girls aren't considered as much as boys, and everyone wants a boy, or you can't. So there are all these kind of things that I think it becomes difficult.
I think it's dangerous as well, actually.
But look, if you've got 4 girls and you're desperately trying for a boy, do I think it would be quite nice to be able to? Yes. I never have done it. I haven't done it, and as I said, it wasn't an option given to me. But look, I've got boys and girls, and I totally get why
And that
you'd
was
want
luck.
to. Yeah.
I'm googling right now a.
Would you want a boy next if you've got
Yeah.
2 girls? Yeah.
I mean, listen, if I had a girl next, I'd have. I'd love that, but I would love to have a boy.
well,
I've got
in this
2
country
girls.
you can choose.
Really?
Yeah.
How to?
So in this country you can choose, and also you can do diets and things like that. But if you really want to know, you can go to the clinics here and you can choose sex.
Okay, so many years ago, when my parents were having children, they had 2 girls.
Yeah.
And they went to a doctor, and the doctor said, "Do this. It's called some method. I'm going to find it right now."
Is it the chicken baster where they take out the egg and then baste it?
No, I don't think so. But anyway, they tried this method that the doctor told them, and they had me after having 2 girls.
Right.
And then they tried it again, and they had my brother.
Stop.
Then my father has said that he has given that theory to probably 20 or 30 people over the years, and it works 9 out of 10 times. It is
Stop it.
always working.
What is it?
I'm trying to find the name of it right now.
Is it a diet?
It's got to do with diet, when you do it, the time of the month, and how you do it. So there's a bunch of things that, and my mum started explaining it to me once.
so it's
and I-
like the
and I
boys
said to her-
swim.
I said, "Mum, no, I'm okay. I'm okay."
Yeah, yeah.
It's called. Oh, here we go. It's called the Shettles method. If anyone's interested, to
Shettles?
Google it. The
Shettles.
Shettles method is a gender swaying method that has been around for decades, and it has its fair share of believers and skeptics. 1960s, Dr. Schiller has recommended gender selection methods which he claims is upheld by scientific evidence. The Shettles method has two distinct advantages and it costs absolutely nothing. Men produce two types of sperm, X and Y, Y being the male, X being the female. Let me see, the most important method of timing is the most important method. The most important gender swaying factor, according to the Shettles method, is the timing of when intercourse occurs. Shettle says the closer to ovulation you have with intercourse, the higher likelihood you'll have a boy. This becomes his claim. Male sperm are faster, female sperm than female sperm. Is that why we're so good? And we will likely reach the egg first.
I knew
In
that.
a room with 3 women.
I knew that.
Well, you listen, you're whispering over there, Melissa. We can't hear you.
No, I just said, you said something about sperm,
Yes.
and then the male, and we're like, you're in a room with 3 women. Watch yourself.
Yeah, I gotta watch myself. It also says this is getting technical now. The vaginal pH level is also important. Shettle's method says acidic environment is more favorable for a girl. So you're trying to get the acidity down there.
Into your diet.
Yeah, and
a
gender
lot of-
selection factor, abstinence. For a boy, the Shettles method advises not having intercourse for 4 to 5 days prior to ovulation.
Perfect. That's your normal life.
And finally, the sexual position.
Oh, God.
Sexual position is said to help your chances of gender selection due to both depths and penetration and pH levels. The closer to the opening of the vagina, the more acidic the woman's reproductive tract is. Well, this is great.
What are we doing? How are we doing it?
What a great
it
start.
from behind?
Penetration and vaginal opening, 2 things I
It's
never
got
thought.
to be. I bet you it's
Your
doggy
Shettles
Shettle's
style.
method suggests a position, for example, the quote or unquote doggy style
Yeah.
is great for a boy.
Yeah.
This will apparently place the sperm closer to the egg, giving them a head start.
Off you go, Chris.
We need a little head start, us, man.
So if Chris isn't at work in the afternoons, he's feeding Brianna wine, doing it dogging style.
Stop that. So listen.
If a boy pops out, we all know what he did.
Having a boy, listen, having a child is beautiful no matter what the gender, male or female. I got 2 beautiful girls, and oh my gosh, they're the best. I find that I hear that girls are easier to bring up than boys. Would that be right? You've had both?
Girls are, yes, they're more relaxed. My boys are more needy, but they're just the most fun.
Yeah.
You've got to have both. You need a boy.
I want to have both. I do want to have another one. So that's called the. If you're listening to this and you want to know more about it, I know Shettles method. Shettles. Shettles method.
Chris is getting remarried, and Chris is going to have we're going to have babies. We're going to have a virgin baby. Virgin baby.
Immaculate conception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to have a baby. I want to have another baby with I've got 2 now from my previous wife.
Think about that.
Yeah,
Brianna, that would be Brianna.
Brianna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to have another child. So and she's down for it. Initially, I think she was thinking
like one.
about it, but now she's ready to have a baby. But we'll get married next year, and then we'll take it from there.
Oh yes, 2020, the year of
Babies.
getting married.
Babies and weddings. What else? What else you got there? She's on it. Melissa's so on it. Melissa's so on it. She's like, aren't we wrapping it up? I was finishing there. No, we're not wrapping
Melissa's
it up.
asleep.
Yeah.
I'm actually reading stuff
Are
on.
you speaking to the
Babies.
microphone as well?
What are we talking about?
You got the microphone in front of you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't see it from there. I thought you were just talking, and I'm like, no one's going to be able to hear anything you're saying.
Let's talk about babies and making them again.
No,
No, but you didn't really get to, apart from that unlimited cash, what would you pay people to do? Is there...
Unlimited cash. Well, you said that you would have an artificial womb.
Yeah, I mean, because I get sick and I've had 3, so it would be great. It would be a great break.
I would love to create, imagine this. Imagine you could take a pill that will stop hair growing in certain areas.
Oh, for God's sake, Chris.
That's the
Who
best.
Who cares? You just use a razor. No, that's a waste of the unlimited
No, it's
cash.
not. I want that. I want to be able to say,
It's because he's a Lebanese man
yeah,
and there's
take
hair
this
everywhere.
pill. No hair will come on your back, front, here.
It does.
or-
It makes life easier. That then it's to make your life easier, isn't it? So
Oh,
you wouldn't have to
man.
go and get
like straight after this podcast,
manscaping.
I'm going to Cosmosearch to get laser hair removal. That stuff that's not enjoyable.
So you want Cosmosearch to go out of business because no one would have any hair?
No, they have the pill.
pill.
Imagine they had the pill. Imagine if I said to you right now, okay, we can stop the hair growing on your legs, Wherever else you don't
Careful
want
where
it.
you're pointing, Chris.
That's right. But we give you the pill and you say, yeah, great. It's 5,000 dirhams, which is let's say $2,000 a pill. You can take it, and guess what? It won't grow there for the next year.
Yeah.
You are definitely buying that pill.
And your legs.
100%. Never have to worry about
Fine,
shaving,
I find that a waste.
waxing.
I would be like, let me think. I'd have like a giant house on an island somewhere, and I'd have like people wait on me day and night.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah,
But Chris will be taking his hair pill
I'll
and
be
his
selling
normal
that
life.
hair pill.
Yeah, but then
I'll be making
it's
millions
whatever
from
makes
that.
your life easier. So if that's something you then take out of your life, then that's it's
I'd multiply
something you can
Melissa.
spend energy on something
Clone
else.
her.
Clone Melissa.
Clone Melissa.
You need another Melissa in your life.
Definitely. You need 4 of them.
They'd probably all be single
What
and
happens
sad.
if Melissa... What did you say?
They'd probably all be single and
Yeah. But you'd have each other.
it's okay before a month.
Melissa, what do you call Melissa? PA, friend?
She calls me her secretary sometimes. I'm like, I'm not a secretary. I'm not like 45.
Yeah, hello.
Another 45 months.
She sits there at a table with a typewriter. This
Yeah.
is my
I also think that's
secretary.
really old school.
I don't know what to
secretary.
call her. My nanny.
PA.
That's what she is. She's my nanny. The kids have one and I've got Melissa.
If Nanny Melissa
I'm PA.
said tomorrow...
I'm a PA, not a nanny.
What?
I'm a PA.
If PA...
Slash nanny sometimes.
Yeah, but you're her nanny. Don't you get, like, you help her out.
Yeah.
But if she was to say
have to look
tomorrow...
after me.
If she was to say tomorrow that she's...
have their own nanny.
Stop, hold on.
Okay.
If she says that she has to leave and she's... Sorry, Caroline, I've got to go. I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore.
On the basis of what? Because
Just-
I'd pay her to stay.
You got that? You got that in right? You got that in audio right now. You can get
She
more
knows
money
I
out
would
I
of
never
it.
keep
do
trying
that.
to give her money out. She doesn't
but
take it. She's not.
What would you do if she had to, like, she doesn't want to leave, but she's got to go? I'm sorry. Would you be able to get through life?
She would.
I mean, I'm still
Get
here.
someone else.
Gotta
But
get
I don't
someone
remember
else
him. In
eventually.
a couple of months, you'd be like, oh yeah, Melissa. Who's that?
Melissa who? Yeah. No,
That's it? Okay, cool. She's very replaceable, it seems, Melissa.
The weird
No,
Scottish
Era,
one. Okay.
She's new. She's amazing, but I never thought I could breathe without Megan. Now I've got Melissa, who's like the Megan 2.0. I hope Megan's not watching this. Love you, Megan.
Hi, Megan. How long have
amazing.
Melissa and you
Megan's
been
still
working
amazing.
together?
Well, I started sort of training in February while I still had another job, and then May was my official start date.
To be a PA for someone, what do you have to do? Because I know
Everything.
it's a full-on job.
It's
yeah.
just like it's thinking of stuff. So I'm still learning all the time. Every time something new happens, I'm like, okay, that needs to be
When
done
I
differently
travel,
next time.
The
Traveling is
shit
like,
always hits the fan.
yeah, and then that's when like when she was like in Peru or when she's in LA, it's 12-hour time difference. So like
She can't
when my
sleep.
day's finishing, it's
She
not
doesn't
really
sleep.
finishing. So it's like you've just got to be kind of, and you've got to accept that your life sometimes isn't your own as well. You've got to, everything has to be reactive to what is your boss is doing. So it's like you can't be like, well, I've got, I'm out with my friends. I can't do this. You've got to. If I've got to phone somewhere
When I was
I'm
in
out with my friends,
LA,
I've got to phone.
She wouldn't go to bed till 2, 3 in the morning, just in case I was going to call.
Yeah.
So like, but that's what happens.
But
I'm
otherwise,
traveling.
I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, a lot of stuff's happened, and it's stressful. So
But
Why do you-
I had Megan 8 years and Rania about 7 years. And the thing is, it's very different because at the beginning she was slightly panicking and saying, oh, I'm not, doing this right. And I'm like, look, it's very different to an office job. A PA is like, it's your lifeline. It's like there is no 9 to 5. And that's what people, I got so many offers of people. I still get people writing when I want to come work for you. If
when you fake fired me on Instagram, people were like, "Oh my gosh, you've really been fired!" Like,
Great.
send her
Why
CV.
did you fake fire her on Instagram?
I can't remember.
Oh
I
no, we
always
were
do
just
it.
joking because it was like I'd been like
She was
cheeky.
rude to me on Instagram, so I
was like,
said
cheeky.
fired. And anyway, it takes a lot more than me. I don't fire people.
Yeah, I was like, it's been funny.
Yeah. But
Comedian.
I get so many people who want to work for me, and I'm like, I don't think you quite understand what it takes.
It's not. Yeah, being a PA is very difficult.
And
I
it's
can-
like for someone who's got a family as well. You've got to be able to
Adapt to everything.
The kids have got to like you too. It's got because I get on really well with the kids, and it's so nice when I've not been there at your house in a while, and then they actually have missed me.
Yeah.
So when I'm there all the time, it's just like,
My
I'm an
kids sleep
annoying
with her
auntie.
sometimes. When I travel, they sleep in her bed.
It's
You can't
amazing.
pay for that.
No, that's
You know.
something that's going above and beyond.
It's like the time she was lying in bed and she felt a small, warm whittle going.
Yeah, I literally woke up and it was like, just that sound of water hitting a surface, and I was like,
This job's just way too much.
The surface would be me.
I was like, oh dear.
There's the surface. So, yeah. Look, and as I said, you can't pay money for that. So, like, there are certain people that cut out for this kind of. I did it, so I know exactly what she goes through. I used to have a boss that would call me in the middle of the night in America and say, "Can you call down and get a cab for me?" And I'm like, "You're in a hotel. If you just dialed 0, the cost of it would have been half of what it's cost you to call me in England, to call the hotel to do this." But so
guy's
but I've become
that's
that
a fool.
person. I'm totally that person.
But I hope you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't call her to. Does she?
Not about a cab.
Does she?
but-
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I have picked an Uber with you.
Oh,
I
I
picked her
made-
delivery. Remember, I
It's
got
just
your
to do my
delivery.
food, my Deliveroo. I don't know how to do Deliveroo in America, so I was
It's easy
in
for me.
line.
So she called you from America. You're in
Well, she
Dubai.
didn't call. She like WhatsApp.
Okay, she WhatsApp you. Can you order me food?
and I
Yeah.
should take a picture of my basket and order it.
Caroline
in America.
Stanbury.
But sometimes it's like easier for me than to try and explain, and then I don't know what's
But she
happening.
should know
I'm like,
how
"I'll just
to
do it."
do it.
No.
You don't.
Old
You have the
dogs.
ability of ordering your own food. It's like 3 clicks, and it comes.
I find these things really hard. I hate apps.
I'm like, the
and
driver's
she's
on his
really
way.
good at them. She's like, it's on its way. And
He's
they just
outside.
When I was young, we didn't even have phones.
Well, exactly. You keep reminding me how much older I am than you. I just don't like them. I find them really difficult. And I always get confused. And the credit card, because I have an American credit. Anyway, she does it in 2 minutes.
Well,
I
Yeah.
just photograph the funny thing is,
It's easier
I
if I'm in
actually-
control sometimes, actually, because then I'm like, it's a bit easier than
And to be
her doing
fair,
something.
she knows I've actually gone through the whole process because I put it all in my basket. Send the basket to her, and then she has to re-put it into a new basket.
wow. We'll teach her. Next episode, we're going to teach Caroline Stanbury how to use
Deliveroo
Deliveroo or Uber Eats.
or Uber Eats. So whoever wants to pay me the most, I'll learn to use it.
That's it for us. Another episode. We'll be back next week. No matter what you're doing with you, your family, and your friends, do it safely. Please keep the messages coming in. Chris and Caroline on Instagram, but it's Chris and Caroline's Not So Epic podcast. We'll be back next week, hopefully.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's Chris Fade and Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic podcast.
Brought to you by NMC Healthcare and Cosmisurge. Head to cosmisurge.com.